Funny how things in life can go. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, two musicians crossed paths through a band they both had played in, Bodine. And these two musicians became friends and they started writing music together. They formed a band and they decided to call their band Plan 9. Yes, after Plan 9 from Outer Space, which a lot of people say is the worst movie ever made. But that shows the sense of humor these guys have. Hey man, that's Robert Soeterboek and Arjen Lucassen you mean, right? Man, I love Robert in Highway Child. Okay, never mind that. It was in the midst of the grunge era, so sadly Plan 9 did not manage to land a record deal. And at that time a record deal was very important if you want to put out a record. So that pretty much left Plan 9 marooned. Yeah, but forever? Well, fortunately not forever, because
life finds a way.
Hello, my name is Damien Wilson. I'm from Headspace and you are listening and watching LiveProg.
Hey everyone, welcome to LiveProg. I am Marcel Haster. Yeah, it is indeed funny how life can go, because unfortunately Plan 9 was marooned, but the paths of these two musicians, Robert Soeterboek and Arjen Lucassen, kept crossing, and over the years they worked together on various musical projects. Until life found a way. Life found a way to bring Plan 9 back, and that was some 30 odd years after they started it. This all started when Robert, a couple of years ago, mentioned Plan 9 to Arjen. And Arjen was very busy, but they decided, you know what, let's go back to that music. Let's check out what we have and let's start with a song. Let's see how it goes. And they started with one song, Anymore. You know, I was listening to that track, Anymore, as in a name, but also Anymore. You know, you get it? Yeah, when you hear it, when you listen to the song, I got it. It's like, alright. Again, that shows the humor of these guys. They started working on that and they kind of brought the band back together, because Clem Determeyer, the keyboard player for Plan 9, and Peter Vink, the bass player for Plan 9, they also joined in and together they made that song. Unfortunately, the original Plan 9 drummer, Rob van der List, he passed away, so he could not be a part of this reunion. But fortunately, he is there in spirit. So, and he's mentioned in the liner notes, so that makes him still a part of this reunion. Despite the fact that, as we all know, Arjen Lucassen is a very busy guy and Robert also has a lot of things going on, but still, you know, they made time to work on these songs together. That one song tasted for more, and this time they had something that they didn't have 30 odd years ago. A record deal. And that was a lot easier because Arjen Lucassen has of course a very good relationship with Mascot. He's been releasing albums with them for a long time, so it was no surprise that they signed Plan 9, and finally we got it. Finally we got the long lost songs. Plan 9, it is here. It's a beautiful album. It's a digipack, digi-sleeve. I'll show you more about the whole package and the artwork and everything throughout this video, but you know, we have it. As you can see, it is a signed copy. Maybe you've seen pictures on social media, Arjen and Robert signing all these hundreds of CDs and LPs and whatnot. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for them that they had to do all that, because I gotta say they probably had some sore hands when they were done. But anyway, that's pretty cool. Of course, they announced that they were working on Plan 9 on social media, and I was like, okay, it's curious. Music they made some 30 years ago, how would that sound? And unfortunately, very quickly before the album was released, they put out a video on YouTube with one of the songs, the 5th song of the album, Before the Morning Comes. And I was like, okay, I gotta be honest, I was thinking something Arjen-ish, you know, I mean, it's Arjen and that was what in my head. But when I saw the video, a beautiful atmosphere. It was shot at the Baruch, which is a place that is special to Robert Soeterboek. And yeah, you saw that this Western atmosphere, that vibe that it got, and then Robert comes in and, you know, he goes to the stage and takes place beyond the mic, and then the song starts and everything, and it's like, wow. It was this more bluesy song, and it was completely not what I expected, but it was like, I was listening to it and it was like, wow, this is really good. And of course this is a perfect song for Robert. His voice really shines on that track. He shines on every track on this album because, of course, you know, the songs were specifically written for Robert, and that is what you hear. But you know, I heard Robert on several musical projects and I loved his voice on all of them. So he's an amazing singer, and I'm really happy that they managed to get these songs out now because, yeah, they are absolutely worth waiting for, I would almost say. They are worth waiting for 30 years or 30 odd years, but now we have it, and I gotta say, it is a fantastic album. I'm really happy with that. And what I also loved about that song, by the way, is Joost van den Broek on the Hammond. Wow, it's so, ooh, yeah, that really got me excited. Not long after that, they released a second song, Ice on Fire, which is track number 8 on the album. And that was a completely different sounding song, and that shows a little bit that you can't pigeonhole Plan 9. You can't put a label on it like it is this kind of music, because it's all over the place. It has a lot to offer, even though I'll come back to the first song in a moment. But yeah, that Ice on Fire brought a different kind of video, this time a more animated video, because they found a guy, Arjen Lucassen, an artist who also made a comic to go with it, and he also did the artwork on that video. Hey man, why don't you have the comic? I mean, that was your thing, right? Yeah, well, you're putting me on the spot here, man. I'm more into music at the moment. I'm not doing a lot with comics, so I'm more with the music, you know. Okay, well, have fun with your music then. Okay, sorry about that interruption. I hope it doesn't happen again anymore. And I got distracted. What I forgot to say about that song is that Ice on Fire is not a bluesy song. It is more an 80s hard rock song, but it sounds so delicious. Really good stuff. So, but going back to that first song they took, that video that got out, that western vibe, that saloon vibe in it. If you look at the cover, you see that cart, and the first track on the album is called Dr. Robert's Medicine Show. And that brings you back to the old west, where you had these people, you know, with their carts going from town to town selling their medicine. Yeah, right, their medicine. That's the vibe that the first couple of songs on the album give, and that's what I really love about it. And like I said, you know, you can't pigeonhole it, but when you hear the first couple of songs, you think, oh, okay, it's being a more a bluesy southern rock kind of album. But then you come to the track Get Down to the Business, and there they put in a little bit of a vengeance in the sound. They're gonna add some more, well, it's not metal, but more hard rock elements in the music. It's getting a bit heavier, and again, you know, that is a really cool song. I love it very much, but it sounds different. It sounds, yeah, that's the interesting part about it. You know, the album sounds different, but at the same time, when you listen to the songs, you hear what I would almost say the signature sound from Arjen Lucassen. You hear it throughout the songs, which is very cool, of course. So, yeah, in a way it's different, but at the same time it's not. Maybe an interesting thing I noticed when I was listening to this album, there was one song and I was like, wait a second, and I started to sing something along with it. Listen to track number 9, Long Cold Night, and then listen to Universal Migrator, part 2, The Flight of the Migrator, the track To the Solar System. Hey, isn't that Robert Soeterboek singing as well? Is that a coincidence? When you hear it, you'll know. Another thing that I really want to mention, there are a lot of musicians in that. I'm not going to mention them, all of them. You'll see, you know, in what I show you from the booklet, you'll see all the musicians. But there's one person I really want to mention, Irene Jansen. She does backing vocals on it, but her parts are really important to the complete sound of it. I love it very much. Her vocals work so well with Robert's. That is really awesome. So yeah, that is something I'm really happy that Irene got on this album again. I mean, I met Irene at the Star One tour, where she also did the backing vocals and together with her sister Floor. And that was really awesome. And she's an amazing person. She's an amazing singer, and I'm really happy that she really shines on this album. We had to wait 30 years for them, 11 long lost songs, but they're here now and they are fantastic. Every single musician makes that this album is a kick-ass album. I've been playing it on repeat and I'm absolutely loving it. Like I said, they had a lot of sense of humor in it. There's a lot of things hidden in this album. In all kinds of ways you find something funny, and that is cool. If you look at the last track of the album, track number 11, Die With Your Shades On, does it remind you of a certain song? You mean Die With Your Boots On from the Peace of Mind album from Iron Maiden? Dude, what the hell? Oh man, I'm really gonna kick his ass when this video is done. I mean, interrupting me all the time, sorry about that. I'm really sorry. I promise you it's not gonna happen and again. Alright, like I said, 11 songs, and it's kind of sad that when the album is done, it's done. Well, not really, because when I got the album, I looked, I was like, hey man, disc 2, it is a 2 CD set and you get a second disc with 21 songs. 2 actual bonus tracks, which is, you know, the band. They would have fitted on the album if it were up to me, but okay, they put him in a second disc, but you get 2 additional songs. You get 5 demos and you get 14 home demos, and that is nice when you listen to that, because then you can hear how these songs have developed from when they were written to the final product. Plus you get to hear several ideas that didn't make the album, but you still get to hear them, which is cool. So you see how creative these guys were back in the early 90s when they recorded this album. So yeah, I'm over the moon that they did this, that they picked up these songs, that they finally recorded them in a proper way with an amazing band, put out a beautiful album for us as fans to enjoy. And I can only say, if you haven't already, get a copy. Get a copy because it's absolutely worth it. And if you can see the band live on stage, because they have been performing, they will be performing, catch these guys on stage. I know I will. So yeah, that's it for here. Thanks for watching. Keep on listening to the music. And if you haven't, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more music reviews and interviews and a lot more. Cheers guys!